What's going on, Garage Gang? Matt from GarageMC here. Guys, in today's video, I'm in the middle of shooting another video on the 465 and ran into a couple problems, have to order a couple parts. So we're going to do a video on the CCP steering stabilizer, which is what you're watching now, obviously. And I'm also going to make a separate video on its own for this Tusk fan that I'm going to mount to the oil cooler. Here it is here. This one here, guys, comes with a, don't look at this controller, that's, it was a different option I was going to go with. You know, it comes with its own controller, temperature settings for when the fan to kick on and everything like that. This is normally for a dirt bike radiator. It would go, you know, on the one of the side rads like that, and you would wire it in. There's just a little, where is it here, temperature sensor. I don't know, we'll get into this one in the other video. Here's the sensor right here. You're supposed to epoxy this into the oil cooler, but we'll do this in its own video. So in today's video, where are we at here? We are going to put this CCP steering stabilizer in. I've never ran a stabilizer, never even rode a quad with one on it, or at least knew that there was one on it. So that's what we're going to take care of. Yeah. Ran into a few problems with some parts, mainly because of the longer swing arm. I need a longer brake cable. The hardware that holds the sprocket on is just, I'm throwing it in the trash, even though it's brand new. The nuts do not want to thread onto the bolts. And I've just been banging some stuff out, but you guys will see all that other stuff in the other video on this. So yeah, let's get to the CCP steering stabilizer. So the CCP steering stabilizer, this is exactly how it comes out of the box, guys. Comes with, obviously, this. It's a puck style. I messed with some of the settings all the way where it's at now on setting 8 is the softest. And as you go down in the numbers, it gets tighter. These are completely rebuildable. This is not a video sponsored by CCP, so I'm just sharing with you guys what I'm using. Obviously I know they make way better options like precision and stuff like that. This is, they're around 200 bucks, man. It's not bad for, you know, I don't race or anything like that, so I don't really need a precision elite stabilizer or anything like that. To be quite honest with you, I've never tried one before and basically just bought this because I think it's going to look trick on the 465. Anyway, so the instructions here, it's basic stuff, guys. Just telling you the how to clamp this to the steering stem and everything like that. Foot pounds, torque specs, all that good stuff. You know, how the settings work. If you need to rebuild it, you can order parts from custom CNC parts at yahoo.com. I highly doubt I'll need to rebuild this. You know, I have a lot of quads, guys, so I'm not always riding the same one, so they're not just constantly getting beat. Like, I'll ride one and then you guys know how I am. Anyway, all right, let me get you guys set up on the tripod. I'm going to spin the quad around so we have space to work on it. And I'm also going to add in a little extra stuff, guys. This obviously clamps to the frame with these two bolts down here. It just squeezes in there, kind of like, I'll show you right now. So it goes in the front here, in between these rails, up there like that. And then those sides clamp onto the frame, like so. I'm going to use a piece of foam in between this so it doesn't scratch up the frame. And I might even do like I did here with the brake line clamps. Yes, I run 2 on each side, guys. I think it looks better than just one. You know, a little more control over it. So I might do something like that just so everything matches how I clamped everything down. But all right, let me get this thing turned around and let's install this, guys. This should be a simple install. So a little short video for you. All right, so in preparation, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the clamp that goes to the steering stabilizer that goes around the steering stem. You want to take that off. You want to get your set screw that is in there. You don't want it to be poking out. You want to tighten this clamp to the steering stem, and then put your set screw. It says once it gets down to the steering stem, once you feel it touch it, you only go another quarter turn. It's just kind of like a kind of like a little locking pin. I don't really know how much that's going to do without being a, you know, a grub screw with a point, but okay. It should clamp well enough just with the clamp with the 2 bolts. One thing that was really weird to me, CCP put standard size hardware instead of metric. Makes, I don't know why you would put standard size Allen heads in there, but hey man, whatever, okay. Just, you know, another thing to remember if we ever work on this, that those bolts are standard there. They're not metric like everything else. The whole quad is 5 and 6 millimeter Allen heads. Anyway, all right, so what you're going to want to do is, guys, you want to have your steering stem dead straight. So I'm judging it by where the tank plate is, where the gas tank goes to, and the part of the stem up here. So you want to have that dead straight. Yes, I know my alignment is not set yet. Don't bust my balls. Leave me alone. Anyway, so yeah, you want to have, I put the stabilizer on its tightest setting, and I have this arm at exactly 90 degrees of the frame. And then you want this one also 90 degrees of the frame. This little angle here, don't mind that. I was going to put red electrical tape around there, but I'm just going to sand it, guys. We're just going to clamp this puppy down. So now that it is where I'm liking it to be sitting, you want to have all this nice and set up. We're going to go ahead and put our steering stem clamp, the other half, on. And then we will do the quarter turn with the little set screw that comes in there. Let me get you guys set up on the tripod and we'll start bolting this thing down. This is going to be a quick install, man. Alright guys, so I hope that's a good enough angle for you. It's a little tough to get you a nice clean shot, you know, obviously with the frame here. So this clamp here, now that we're at 90 degrees of the steering stem, and the steering stem is straight, like I said, we have that grub screw backed out. It's not protruding from the clamp at all. I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing, I hope. I'll double check, and if not, I'll redo it. So you go ahead and get this set up. We will get our screws, our bolts started in here. I'm not going to torque this stuff down yet, guys. You're going to want to use anti-seize on the threads of these bolts. Anytime you're using stainless steel hardware and it's screwing into aluminum, you definitely want to put anti-seize on there, especially a part like this where, you know, you may need to take it off, or if you ever sell the quad and you know, want to maximize whatever you're going to, type of money you're going to get back out of it, you could take this off and resell it. Granted, these CCP ones are only 200 bucks new, but you know what I'm saying. So any recouped funds when you're building something like this is definitely a good thing to have. It's a little bit tight to get in here. It's going to take a second, but so we'll move on to the next part here. So we have that, the bolt started there. The grub screw is not cranked down yet, obviously. So the next part that's going to go in here, let me move you guys around to the other side. We'll get our bottom clamp in there. We'll start getting the bolts started. Same deal here. You're going to want to use anti-seize on these bolts. Same deal, stainless steel. So I need to get these lined up and started. And then none of this stuff is cranked tight yet, guys. You want to leave it loose so you can, you know, wiggle it around, move it. Before you tighten down that steering stem clamp, I would definitely make sure that your steering stem is facing dead straight to start with. So that's why you don't tighten any of this stuff until the end and everything is all nice and set up where you want it to go. So this is a pretty simple install. So to make this video a few minutes longer, I'll give you guys an overview of everything else I got going on with this quad for the other video. Just a little sneak peek of what's to come here soon. All right, so those are all set up. So now we're going to go ahead and double check that everything that we've put on here so far has stayed where we want it to stay. All right, so we're looking good there. 90 degrees of the stem. The stem is straight now. This is why you leave everything loose. Make sure that's nice and straight. And we're looking good. So, all right, what I'm going to do next, guys, is I'm going to tighten down the 2 bolts that go to the steering stem here, the clamp of the stabilizer. And then we'll make sure we're at a nice 90-degree angle, which I'm pretty sure we are. I got this set all the way down on number 1. You could barely even move this thing when it's at its tightest setting. So we should be good there to just go ahead and send these bolts home. I mean, if you're like a 1/16 of an inch off of, 90 degrees, it ain't gonna really hurt anything, but, we'll be all right. All right, we tighten them bolts down, guys, and then we'll see how this thing feels. All right, man, there we are. Nice and simple, guys. I love when stuff just falls together like it's supposed to, and it doesn't require 9 million alterations and modifications and customizations and frustrations and whatever other shins you could think of. So, all right, quick overview of how this goes in. So you have the 2 bolts down here. Those get torqued down to 15 foot-pounds. The 2 bolts that go on the main bracket, those are 1/4-inch Allen head. The bracket that goes on the steering stem is 3/16, and the grub screw, sorry guys, I can't talk today, man, is 3/32. So based on the instructions, obviously, just like we did, guys, you take your clamp off here, you take this clamp off when it comes out of the box when you first get your stabilizer, back the grub screw up a little bit, get everything fitted in here, put your bottom clamp on loose, so this way you could slide the stabilizer back and forth. Also put these on nice and loose. Then you get everything set to 90 degrees with the steering stem dead straight, or as straight as you can possibly get it. So torque specs for this. The 2 1/4-inch Allen heads down here, these get torqued down to 15 foot-pounds. Don't forget your anti-seize. These 2 here, which are, what was it, 1/16 or 3/16. These 2 3/16 bolts, they get torqued down to 13 foot-pounds. These 2 here, and then after that's all set, you take your grub screw and you tighten it down to where it's touching the steering stem, and then you do a 1/4 turn after it starts to touch the stem. So now it's nice and tight. I have it set on number 6, so the higher up in the numbers you go, the softer it is. All the way down at 1 is the tightest. I don't know why they did that. But anyway, you can see how everything moves together. And this is also why you want it at 90 degrees, because when you're at full turn like that, if you were to set it with this clamp here and like that, it wouldn't have the range of motion, obviously. I'm sure I don't need to explain that to you guys, but you know how it is, man. There might be somebody like, well, why do you have to do it like that? Why do you have to do it? That's why. So anyway, all right, guys, so that was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. So this is a short video, like I said. I told you I'd let you guys know what's going on. So next video on the 465ex, we're going to put this Tusk fan on the oil cooler on here, get that all wired in. Other things going on with the 465, I have a little list of stuff that I have to reorder, because honestly, I used some of the stuff on other 400EXs. With the, I'll just use this real quick and I'll order another one and replace it. Yeah, never got to that. So I had to reorder some stuff. The things that I did have to reorder, the switch that goes up on the handlebars. This is the wrong year one. It has this extra green wire. It's supposed to be 6 wires going to a 99 to 04. So that'll be here Saturday. I had to order a longer chain, which sucks because DID chains are not cheap, but we'll use it for something else. I totally didn't take into account the extra long swing arm means you need an extra long brake line and chain. Duh. So yeah, the longer brake line, I need to order exhaust studs because I use those for another one. And so far, that's all I can find that I need. And yes, I already ordered the stuff today. So that's where we're at, Like I said, man. Also, I got rid of the black Mayer plastics. I did not like the way that they fit and lined up. We're going OEM on this thing, guys. Also going to have some OEM stickers remade, but instead of 400EX, it'll say 465EX. So it'll look like a bone stock 400EX plastics-wise. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into this quick, easy install. I guess we'll have my first opinion of riding a quad with a steering stabilizer, first time ever, when we ride this. I'm trying to get this thing started before the end of this year, which is only a few days away. Having to order them parts is probably going to screw me, but we'll make it work. Another thing I had to order is another CFM oil tank with the cooling tubes. The one I had, you guys know, man, it was covered in some like rhino liner or something that somebody put on there, and it just wasn't coming out to the quality that I wanted it to be for this quad. So I sold that one, had to order another one. That will be here in another day or so. If it's not here, I will just throw a stock oil tank in it and do the heat cycles with the stock oil tank, and then when we do the first oil change, I'll swap that out. Not a big deal, not a game changer. And yeah, so thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope this was helpful to one of you guys. If not, hope it was entertaining at least. Watching me with all my frustrations with the squad. Got to get this damn thing done, man. You know, it's not ever a good idea to start a project and then just not finish it right away. You know what I mean? This thing had so much dust over it. It still does in a lot of places. Like, obviously, the frame, the close-up you guys had, you're probably like, damn, dude, why is this thing all dusty and dirty like this, dude? What are you doing, you know? Wipe the exhaust off where we wrote "Finish Me" in it in the one live stream. Everything, you know, it's just dust. It's no big deal. Yeah, so I still got to rebuild the starter for this thing too, but anyway, this video is long enough for a simple install. I'll see you guys in the garage next time. If you don't know, I read and answer every single one of my comments. I do not just hit you with a thumbs up. You take time to comment. I take time to read and answer you out of respect. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I wanted to say something else to you too. Oh, the dual Quad Talk live streams that we've been doing, man. If you guys are missing out on those, it's a lot of fun, man. And it's not just me and another YouTuber talking and ignoring comments. We take time to read the comments here and there. I'm sure we missed a few, you know, sorry, but it's a good time, man. Check it out. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Might be switching it to 8:30 p.m. I'm trying to figure out the right time for everybody between, you know, East and West Coast and all that stuff. So it is what it is. But I'll see you guys in the garage. Shit, tomorrow I'm going to do the fan, start making a video on it right now. So you guys will be getting bombarded with videos on this thing until it's done. I'm sure you don't mind. Thanks for coming and joining me in the garage. Peace!